way too high tech for me.
No, really not. Okay.
Yeah.
What was very important, that when we were in Estonia, and the chance of us surviving was very, very small. One day, we had a, how can I say, we promised one another, 3 people, that if we survive war, even for 1 minute, we'll tell the world what happened during the Holocaust, how Germans were killing the Jews. And later on, when the war was finished, and after staying in Germany for 3.5 years, working for UNRWA, and an uncle brought me to Australia, and I was 70-year-old, I decided to fulfill the promise. And I came to the Holocaust Centre to collect the testimonies. First I was working in the archives, then I started to collect the testimonies of Holocaust survivors. And I do it for the last 22 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. Can you tell me, how old were you during your time approximately in the ghetto and camp?
17. I was born
17.
in 1922.
Yeah.
39.
Yeah. And
the
so
war started. The ghetto was 19 already started.
19, yeah. How many audio testimonies were collected and before you started the video
About
testimonies?
200.
200. And now there's, how many video testimonies in total?
Over 1,300.
Over 1,300, yeah, yeah. And the technology, the equipment that you started with was obviously analog form. With your
It was an
video
analog
cassettes.
camera, very large camera. It wasn't hi-fi even. But it serves the purpose. We didn't have a room, actually. Sometimes in the middle of the interview, somebody else had to use the same room. Then we had to take the whole equipment, including a television set, which you used as a monitor to transfer to other room, until we got a very old shed in the back.
Yeah.
And the roof was leaking, and they couldn't repair it. Possibly they didn't have enough money to replace it. So during the interview, the water was dripping from the roof. They put a plastic plant there, and when somebody asked me why the water is dripping, I was explaining the plant.
So it wasn't making noise when it was dripping as well? Or?
Sometimes
it was. Okay.
Yes, in the background.
Right, yeah.
But there is something very interesting. It was a very small shed. People had to go back to remember what happened during the Holocaust. A very gruesome period in their life. They had to dissociate themselves from current life, to go back in their memory and find themselves in the past. As a fact, the room was so small and dilapidated, it helps them somehow to retreat back in their memory this period of Holocaust.
It might even be less artificial than using the lights and that kind of thing, yeah. So there's pros and cons.
Strange enough, it was beneficial, yes.
Yeah. I was wondering if I can ask briefly about your use of digital media generally. I've already been telling some of my students that you defy the stereotype that is often placed on people in your demographic, so to speak. You've had a smartphone for longer than I have. You edit videos every day on your Apple computer.
Actually,
And you're on Facebook. more than me.
This I don't know, but the fact is that as life changes, the biggest progress which we make in technology affects us enormously. When I was a child, I went to school and I wanted to find out about something. I had to go to the library, walk there for half an hour, pay the fee for using the book, return the book. To find few facts would take me about an hour. Today, you can Google it on your smartphone and it doesn't take longer than a few seconds.
Yeah.
So this advance of technology played an enormous role in my life, and currently when I was born, it was era of computer, age of electricity. Now we're living in the age of computer, and it's essential to take all the advantages of modern technology.
Yeah.
It's even the smartphone gets smarter every few months.
Exactly. It's hard to keep up with it. And speaking of that need to keep up with technology, I'm wondering if I can get your perspective on the story pods downstairs. The students will see them when they come to the centre, the interactive touchscreen kiosks, and now we've got an iPad app as well, which I assume you've downloaded onto your phone.
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Yeah, but I will tell you, actually, people are changing continuously. We are subject to the environment which is changing. When I went to school, I was writing with a pen and ink. Today, you're using computers. And the way of people do things and think and the way you use the technology change enormously. iPod is one of the symptoms of the world changing. You can find out much more, or StoryPod, much faster and much easier than ever. What is very important? Two things: acquiring knowledge, and the use of the knowledge. Acquiring knowledge, it's very easy, but what you should use people, how to use knowledge for humanitarian purposes, because at the present moment, the first precedence would have to be war, destruction, instead of creation.
Yeah.
And this is one of the biggest problems.
Yeah.
The basic message of the Holocaust, that a human being shouldn't forget about humanity. This is the final message.